What's up, y'all? What is going on? You know what I'm gonna talk about. I'll wait for y'all to come on in. Hope everybody don't have frostbite out there. Dude, that wind last night, I'm in Atlanta right now. That wind last night was the strongest wind I think I've ever experienced. I weighed 250 and I could hardly open the door at work. I had to put my whole weight on it. And then when I let go, it just whap, slammed instantly. But yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. But let's talk about the big events of last night. You know what I'm gonna talk about. And he's taking it well. He's taking it on the chin, but he really has no choice. I mean, what you gonna do? Get mad? You can't get mad. You went into the ring with a toupee, no super glue. I have never seen anything like that in my life. Of course, he's got his story of how it happened and why it happened. And yeah, man. I was saying there's no coming back from that, but because he's taking it so well, I guess he can come back from that. I know, yeah, you're right. Is there anything real about Miller, man? The PEDs, and now this dude literally got his cap peeled, peeled. Won the fight, but I don't think he intended to go into the ring and be the laughing stock of the night. I don't think that was in the game plan, but that's how it happened. Jarrell Miller goes into the ring, gets an uppercut, and his hair does one of these. Notice how my hair stayed right there. You notice that? No super glue. But that was just hilarious, man. That was hilarious. I gotta go back and check out the whole fight. I just saw that part, and that was too funny, too funny. But on your way in, or if you watch the replay of this, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Donate to the platform. Donate to the platform. Cash App, $ JRoos33. The Instagram, the J Roos Theory. Channel number 2 in WJ. My recent video on there, I talk about Adam 22. What's his name? Adam 22 fighting Jason Love, where the dude Adam 22 didn't throw one punch, quit after one round. So I say no jumper should be changed to no hands, because that dude has no hands and no courage. Get up out the paint. But yeah, back to the topic, man. Big Baby Miller, what's next for this dude? I'm pretty sure for his next fight, he's probably gonna do something funny, come into the ring with something crazy on his head, just to, laugh at himself and show he doesn't take himself too seriously. But I don't know who he's fighting next. Hi to you. What's up? What's popping? Who's this dude? Get out of here talking about shut up. You shut up. Get you about the paint, homie. Come on my channel talking crazy. I would love to see you trolls in person, man. I would slap your teeth down your throat. But anyway, what's next for Big Baby Miller? I have absolutely no idea. If he does come into the ring with another wig, I'm pretty sure he'll make sure the glue is appropriate. Make sure it doesn't flop up and down next time he gets hit with a punch. Like I said, he's taking it well, but he kind of doesn't have a choice. I mean, you can't be mad at the audience, I even saw Fabio Wardley. I guess when Jarrell threw the toupee into the crowd, Fabio Wardley put it in the seat next to him. Guess that's a souvenir. Probably a go for a lot on eBay right now. You know, it might go for a lot on eBay. Let's go Reds. What's up, y'all? How's my day? My day's going pretty good. Day's going pretty good. No complaints. No complaints at all because it's not as cold today as it was yesterday, of course. Yesterday was a little crazy. Not so much with the cold, but more with the just the wind. Today's not a cloud in the sky though. Not a cloud in the sky. So that's always a good thing. But did y'all check out the Shakur Stevenson fight with Tiafimo? If so, what do you think? I know people were comparing. They're comparing Shakur to Floyd, you know, because he's very technical, very defensive, and he doesn't knock people out. Paulie Malignaggi said, "Welcome to the the Shakur era." And you know why Paulie likes him, because he couldn't knock out nobody either. So of course he's going to gravitate to somebody that reminds him of himself. But I like Shakur Stevenson, and I think he's a great talent. I just wish he kind of had more of a finishing off instinct. I wish he went in there and tried to get people out of there. You know, he's got messed up hands and brittle, kind of like Floyd too. But you know, he'll bring in more people if he could start finishing people. And I know that's not all that boxing's about, but it would kind of help with the highlight reels if you see somebody with technique and defense and you can knock somebody out. You know what I mean? So hopefully he'll start finishing people. Yeah, Shakur is very slick. Yeah, he's very slick, man. And in fact, Terrence Crawford had some pretty big things to say about him. He's saying that he can come in and do bigger things than even he did in his career. I don't know about that because Terrence Crawford was pretty much knocking everybody out in most of his fights. So it's just this is still boxing, you know. I know there's a lot of technique and all that involved that people like to see, but we also want to see people get put to the canvas. And if you can't do that, it's kind of not going to be so easy to sell tickets. But a lot of people showed up for this fight. It was bigger than I thought it would be. Of course, Teofimo Lopez, I used to really like the guy, but then he started talking like he was in the KKK, and I was like, eh. But he seemed like he got humbled last night. I was looking at his face, man. It looked like a ghastly rictus, man. That dude's face was pretty jacked up. Mr. Shakur put hands on him. Hands. But my main topics are the heavyweight division, of course. Tyson Fury's coming back against Makhmudov in April, and it's going to be on Netflix, so it's free. If you have a Netflix subscription, that is, it's free. But at least it's not pay-per-view. So hope there's no Jake Paul fight coming because Jake was talking about he wanted to fight Tyson Fury. Oh, you think we might see AJ back in the ring as soon as April? Yeah, that's a possibility, man. Did y'all check out the video he did on his YouTube channel? And you could tell he was at points struggling to get through the video because that was a tough situation he went through in Nigeria, losing his friends right in front of him. That's something he'll never forget. So still praying for AJ. In the almighty name of Yah, Yeshua, praying for AJ. And he's still working out, so that's good for his mental health, and it shows that he still has a hunger to fight. He's with Team Usyk now, and Usyk says he believes that AJ will continue fighting, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. I've said this before in some videos. You don't want to sit around and just think about all the strange stuff that happened on that day. I did videos about it because, of course, it was breaking news, but I don't even like to talk about stuff like that. But, AJ is a mentally tough guy, and I know he'll be back when he's ready to come back. Don't know who's on the horizon for him besides Fury. And Fury just better get past Makhmudov. If he doesn't do that, then, of course, the AJ fight's in jeopardy. You know how boxing does. You lose a fight, then the next big one's off the table. And I hate to see that because win, lose, or draw, I still want to see Fury versus AJ. But in boxing, you lose a fight and things get canceled. I still want to see AJ get that fight with WIG Baby Miller. Because remember, they were supposed to fight years ago in New York. AJ's debut. WIG Baby Miller got caught with the PEDs. In steps Andy Ruiz. Stops Joshua. And that fight never took place between Miller and AJ. So hopefully that fight will eventually happen. Hopefully. But because of the WIG incident last night, it kind of limits the trash talk that Miller can throw at AJ, because AJ's got a lot of ammunition. A lot of ammunition he can throw at Big Baby Miller after that. I mean, all he got to do is come in a press conference with a bad toupee on it, kind of shuts down all the jokes that Miller has. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Beat down that like button, comment, share, subscribe, Cash App, $J Roos33. And that's Roos, not Ross. ROOS 33. $J ROOS 33. But yeah, if Makhmudov happens to win that fight against Tyson Fury, that throws everything off, man. And I did a video about it, but shout out to Tyson Fury for not taking a soft touch. Makhmudov, he's not as great as everybody thought he was going to be, but he's no pushover. He's somebody you can't sleep on or you'll get slept. So at least he's not fighting a dude from up the street. Yeah. But I hope everybody's good out there. Hope you're staying warm. Don't get pneumonia. I was surprised Fury isn't taking an easy fight. Yeah, especially since he's had quite a bit of layoffs since that rematch with Alexander Usyk. And we all know Usyk was supposed to fight Wilder, and then that fell apart. It was supposed to be in San Francisco. I think Wilder said the fight was taking too long to negotiate. I don't know how that is when they already had posters and stuff up. I think it's Wilder's people protecting him from a beating that he would have taken from Alexander Usyk, so they had to find a way to weasel out of that. So now we know that Wilder's supposed to fight Derek Chisora, Dale Boy, War Chisora. I got Chisora winning by stoppage. I think Deontay's body is so long that it gives Chisora a lot of real estate to work with as far as body shots goes. I think when he lands some body shots, I think it'll start to break Wilder down, and it might look like the fight that Deontay had with Zhilei Zhang when he got spun around and was looking around like, what just happened? Like he was about to complain to the referee. That was one of the funniest knockouts I ever saw. That's right up there with the WIG gate last night with your dude Jarrell Miller. You know, that dude spun around. Deontay's like, what just happened? And then Zhang was waiting like, over here. Wait, turn around. Boom. Deontay out. But this Deontay Wilder is not the same knockout guy that he was before. You know, everyone thought he was the hardest punching heavyweight in boxing history. Stop it. Stop it. I see we got a lot of sucker booty niggas on the channel today. A lot of trolls. Why don't y'all get out your mama's basement and come play outside with the big boys? Instead of hiding behind your little keyboards playing Dungeons and Dragons, come outside. So sick, like y'all ain't got nothing better to do than sit around and pick your nose and watch Cartoon Network? Like, really, dude? Bunch of soft niggas. Anyway, back to the topic, the heavyweight division. Yeah, I'm glad Tyson Fury didn't take any soft touches. I'd have really been impressed if he fought somebody like a Caballero. I was like, I'd be like, well, now the AJ fight is really in jeopardy because we know Caballero is no joke. And I'm hearing talks of who was it that was it Daniel Dubois and Caballero? Somebody, I forget. But yeah, and you've heard that Daniel Dubois brought back Mr. Don Charles. Didn't see that one coming. Don Charles in the building. You know, Don Charles is, like I said, just a figurehead. The Dubois camp just needs somebody to come in and say they're the trainer, but we all know that Stan Dubois is really running that team over there. So, you know, I didn't see the interview, but I saw the headline. I think Don was on Seconds Out. Shout out to them. But Don was saying that they need him. Really, dude? They need you? Stop it. Stop. Stop it. Can Daniel Dubois come back after that knockout from Alexander Usyk? I know he's a young guy, but it's kind of the way he got knocked out. Some people even say he quit, you know. That's why you never want that quitter reputation, because it's going to follow you. Whether you quit or not, people are going to say you quit. You could get put to sleep snoring and people be like, you quit. You didn't have to snore. So you never want that quitter label. You know, people calling him Triple Knee now instead of Triple T. They're calling Don Charles Two Towels because he threw in two towels or something. So you never want that quitter thing, man. That's a label that's hard to erase. Hard to erase. Let me see what y'all talking about. See if there's any more trolls in the building. Do I like Georgia Tech? Nah, not really. I'm from California, man. I'm just in Atlanta. I'm a Southern California guy. I grew up in Southeast San Diego. Hey, what's up, man? I'm chilling, man. No complaints. How's your day going? Who's the right trainer for Dubois? That's a great question. That is a great question. I don't know. Because as long as Stan Dubois is in the picture, he's not going to really let anybody come in and take over. I know the guy that, I forget his name, that Dubois was working with after Don, he didn't like it over there because, you know, he's being pretty much told what to do and what not to do. So until Stan Dubois gets up out the picture or makes it official that he's the trainer, that's a great question. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Day's going pretty good. That's what's up. But Jarrell Miller wants some get back from that loss he took to Dubois. And speaking of Dubois, I said in my video, you could tell if you looked at Jarrell Miller's hair in certain parts of that Daniel Dubois fight, you could see he was losing his hair in that fight. So I don't quite know what he's talking about putting Nair on his head and burning it out like that, because I saw he was already getting, you know, already looking patchy and like he was losing his hair. So yeah. You never know. The dude might get a deal with one of these hair transplant companies. Might make some money doing that. Maybe that. What if that was his whole plan in it? Since he's not that active in the ring and the money's coming in slow, what if he's like, I'm gonna do something funny tonight, and then I'm gonna have all these hair transplant companies hitting me up to do commercials? You never know. This dude's a salesman. He knows how to sell himself. You never know. You know, the joke's on him, but might not be. If you know what I mean. I tried to make the camera horizontal, but sometimes YouTube doesn't always let you do that. They're like, nope, you're gonna do it vertical, homie. You will be doing your live stream vertical, and that's what it is. Dude, you're not funny, dude. Like, some of these trolls jokes are just like, y'all need to hire like a professional comedian to write your jokes. Like, that was terrible, dude. That was awful. You talking about my beard, dude? My beard is nice, dude. Now maybe your wife's beard is better than mine, but I think next to her, I think my beard's pretty nice. But you know, she keeps hers glossy, so you know, shout out to you and the missus. Y'all want to play? I got some mouth game on me. I got mouth on me. You want to play? We can play. But you never know what Jarrell Miller had up his sleeve last night, because it's just odd that you would go into the ring with a toupee on, knowing that your head's going to be, even if you don't get hit with a solid shot, you know you're going to be bobbing and weaving and moving around, and sweat's going to loosen the glue. So you would think that he would know, hey, I might want to just come in with the chrome dome for this fight so I don't get humiliated in front of the world. And like someone said, I read in the comments, what if he had got knocked out and his toupee flew off at the same time? That would have gone even more viral than this is going. So yeah. that's just a funny situation. That's gonna be on he might get on some talk shows on that one, you know. Does anybody still watch talk shows? I don't watch Jimmy Fallon. I used to like Jay Leno, Arsenio, David Letterman. Remember those days? Times have changed, haven't they? Times have changed. He says, F Dubois. Wow. Yeah, I'm not really feeling Dubois. I'm not feeling Dubois because they're into some creepy stuff, it seems like, in that camp. So If AJ had just beat Dubois, Dubois wouldn't even be really in the discussion right now. But some weird stuff was going on that night. AJ got no type of technical help from Ben Davison, really. So it is what it is, or it was what it was. You know what I mean? But at least AJ's with T Music now, and yeah, that's gonna make a big difference. Big difference. But y'all check out my playlist. I got interviews on here with James Bashir, the first coach of Alexander Usyk at cruiserweight. I got on Jim Lampley. Mix it up with Counterpunch Boxing News, Andrew Tucker World, Dusty Vision TV. Me and Andrew interviewed Vlad Sarenko, up and coming contender. I had on Ray Mercer. I had on Jet Blackwell, Mike Tyson sparring partner for Roy Jones and Jake Paul. So check the interviews playlist out. I had on Alonzo Williams from the World Class Wrecking Crew, representing West Coast hip hop. He's got great stories of Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Easy E, DJ Yella, MC Ren, all them dudes, man. The song Boys in the Hood was recorded at his house. Fun facts, so go check out that interviews playlist. Yeah. And shout out to some big channels that show me love. Chris Jones from Pump Chasers always shows me love and respect. Gene Deal, shout out to Gene Deal. Always shows me love. Shout out to Gene Deal, man. Go subscribe to Chris Jones and Gene Deal, man. Some cool cats. And yeah, I just appreciate people that, you know, they got big, huge channels. So, you know, they don't even have to acknowledge me. But, you know, for them to do that is real cool. I appreciate that. And Gene always be on his live stream and talking about my videos and stuff. So I appreciate that. Gene Dill, former bodyguard up at Bad Boy Records. And he was telling y'all what was coming way before all the stuff hit the fan, if you know what I mean. But yeah. This is a nice day. It's kind of cool outside, but I'm liking the look of the day. I got a nice view up here, and there's a lot of hotels in this area. Renaissance Waverly Hotel over there, Sheraton over there. There's a lot going on. But first of all, during the Shakur Stevenson Lopez event, I didn't even know Jarrell was on the card. I didn't know the dude was fighting. I thought he was looking for fights. You know, next thing I know, he's in the ring, you know, getting his wig split. I was like, wow, all right. All right. You know, people are going to want to see his next fight, if nothing else, just to see if something else happens. See what else comes off. Do I ever show belly button content for dollars? Nah, I leave that to your wife, man. She's pretty good at that, you know. She might want to lose a couple pounds though before she comes on the live streams though. She's looking kind of crazy. But that's on you, homie. I'm the love doctor. Go and get up out of here. Go on and get up out of here. Hi, what's going on? What's up? Just talking some boxing and some big baby Miller, or should I say wig baby Miller? Love the hat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. My hat comes off too, like Big Baby's wig. It comes off in a strong wind. Man, if Jarrell Miller was here in Atlanta last night, it would have flown off too. The way that wind was blowing, felt like it was like 70 miles an hour. I think it was like 30, but 30-mile-an-hour winds, man. That's crazy. Or as we used to say back in Southeast San Diego, that's brazy. I'm sure a few of y'all will get that. When did I start YouTubing? Oh man, it's been a while. I've been on here for a minute. I wish my numbers reflected that. Thanks for the support, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. It's snowing. Oh man, I hope your power don't go out. Yeah, that's a sucky situation when the power goes out, because then how you gonna charge your phone and your gadgets and all that? Yeah, man. I grew up in Southern California, man. I ain't cool with all this snow stuff, dude. Sitting up here driving in crazy situations. You be driving down the highway, you feel the wind blowing your vehicle. Like, goodness, I'm in a big vehicle too, and it's still blowing me. You're in Canada, huh? Wasn't it like 50 below in Canada the other day? Hi, hello to you. What's popping? 50 below, that's some nasty work. 50 below? Man, that is crazy. Chicago, yeah, man. Chicago's going through it. Chicago has got something going on. They got the violence and the weather. Bad mixture. Bad mixture. 12 degrees right now. I think it's like 20 something here. The other night it was 12 degrees in Atlanta. Wow. Yeah, these are some crazy happenings right now. You know, I'll be glad when we reach spring again. What did Bismarcky say? It's spring again. Everybody, that's before you guys' time, huh? I grew up in the days of real hip hop. Bismarcky, Big Daddy Kane, Cool G Rap. You don't know nothing about that. It's that crazy work, son. For real, cat, for real. But now we gotta listen to this new crap. These mumble rappers. Yeah, this new rap out here is cheeks, dude. I don't know how people listen to this new rap. Straight cheeks. Got the rap industry looking like hoes. Straight hoes. I'm talking about the dudes, never mind the chicks. Yeah, these rappers are straight buns. Yep. Yeah, people outside in the snow, man. Out in the snow. These new rappers are buns, man. And I'm tired of seeing fighters come out to the ring with these loud rappers and their voice is always louder than the music. So it kind of drowns out the music and then it's bad acoustics and you just hear a dude, I'm MC so and so. Like, yeah, somebody turn off his mic. Just come out to your music. Them days are way better when fighters just came out to the music, got in the ring, handle business, do the interview, and go. I'm sick of seeing all these Takashis with the pink and blue and red braids, man. Oh, dude. Man. Man. Who started this trend with coming out with rappers? Was it Floyd? Was it Adrian Broner? Like, who? I'm tired of that. The acoustics are always terrible. Only one that I did think was cool was when Terrence Crawford came out with Eminem, and hey, that's Eminem. So you know the acoustics were gonna be right for Eminem. He ain't gonna come out sounding crazy. And then Errol Spence came out with some dude. I don't know who that was. Some local dude, I guess. Started in the 1940s. I'm lagging out. See, that's the beauty of live streams. You can just cover a bunch of topics. You can start talking about the heavyweight division. Next thing you know, you're talking about gangster rap in the 1990s. Like you can segue into all types of different topics. I mean, but would you guys pay for any more Shakur Stevenson fights? You know, I like watching him fight because it's artistic to watch him. You know, his defense and his jab. It's artistic to watch, but you still kind of want to feel like there might be a knockout coming. And with Shakur, you kind of feel like you're going to be in there for 12 rounds. You want at least the threat of a knockout to be present at all times. That's why, like, the heavyweight division can end at any moment. You know, it can be going one way, and then one punch turns it all around. Now, of course, that can happen in the other divisions, but it happens more in the heavyweight division because dudes are a lot bigger and hit a lot harder. But I don't know that I would. I don't know. Maybe I pay for a Shakur fight. Depends on who he's fighting. Guess that's it with anybody though. I guess we just pay depending on who they fight. Yeshua loves me, absolutely. Did you know his real name is Yeshua? There's no J in the Hebrew alphabet. So I say Yeshua, but yes, he does love me. He loves you too. And he loves when you get his name right. Definitely not Logan Paul because their fights are scripted. You know what's crazy? I'm hearing talks. Well, I was hearing talks that Jake Paul might be fighting. What's his name? Conor. Not. I'm gonna say Conor Ben. Conor McGregor. And I think that would sell tickets. Of course, I got to favor Jake Paul in that. Conor McGregor's not really doing too much. I think he's in movies now, Roadhouse and all that. So I think he's in Roadhouse. Tyron Woodley. You know, neither one of these dudes are too great at combat sports right now. So you got to favor Jake Paul to go in there and handle business with Conor McGregor. You know, Connor's just not a boxer, You know, say what you want about Jake Paul, but he got more skills in the boxing ring than Conor McGregor. I said WWE. Bruce Gas, what is up to you? Salute. Salute. Someone said, you have big muscles. Why, thank you for noticing. I work out every day. Bruce Gas in the building. Y'all go subscribe to my dude, Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. Bruce Gas, he be doing trivia and stuff and giveaways and all type of fun stuff. You know, I talk about, go check out my NFL playlist too. I'm a San Diego, LA Chargers guy. We just got Mike McDaniel from the Miami Dolphins as our offensive coordinator. Now we just got to get an offensive line to protect my dude, Justin Herbert. We need to go to the Super Bowl, dude. We haven't been since 1995, and we got blasted by the 49ers then. So who you guys got for this Super Bowl? You got the Patriots or you got the Seahawks? I kind of think the Seahawks going to pull it through, man. That defense of the Seahawks is kind of nice. Kind of nice. Usually the team with the better defense wins. Remember the 85 Bears? The 85 Bears. Them dudes, wow. Just watched the documentary about the 85 Bears. They had a cast of characters. Jim McMahon, you had Walter Payton, Dent, Richard Dent. Man, what a team. Mike Singletary. He had the Super Bowl shuffle. They didn't come to start no trouble. They just came to do the Super Bowl shuffle. Bars. Love the NFL. I live in New England and I'm rooting for the Seahawks. So you're rooting for the Seahawks, huh? So you're not a Patriots guy, huh? Well, what did you think of Bill Belichick not being in the first ballot voting or getting into the Hall of Fame, first ballot? That's kind of crazy work right there. How did they deny Bill Belichick, man? That's crazy. I mean, I know they can talk about Spygate and Deflategate and all that, but his Super Bowl win still counted. So if you count as Super Bowl wins, you got to give him props and put him in the Hall of Fame. But you know that Hall of Fame voters are kind of weird. They messed around with Terrell Owens, Lawrence Taylor. Then they want to start talking about their outside of the field antics. It's like, are we going by what they did on the field, or are we going by once the clock stopped? What's the criteria here? What are we going by? Drake is lucky to get MVP. He got MVP? I didn't even know that. Wow. Yeah, Bill got shafted. Bill got shafted like Richard Roundtree. Bill got shafted like Samuel Jackson. Yeah, there's no way that Bill, that should have been an instant retirement, Hall of Fame. You know, that's like saying Tom Brady's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Come on now. Who's doing the voting for these Hall of Fame inductees like that? That's some nasty work, man. Shout out to my classmate Terrell Davis, that's in the Hall of Fame. Went to Lincoln High with them, class of '90, Southeast San Diego. Shout out to Terrell Davis, man. We sat right by each other first period in Mr. Flisher's class. Terrell Davis. Super Bowl MVP, back when the Super Bowl was an SD. My tackle football team is, oh, okay, tackle football. Man, you trolls are something else. Wow, I'm not gonna even repeat that one. That's some nasty work right there. Whoever you are, chick, you need to go to church. Nasty little chick. You're a nasty little hoe. How you doing? What you pursuing? But I got more videos coming about Jarrell Big Baby Miller. You know, everybody's talking about it. I had to do a quick one while the event was still going on. I had to get it out. I'm like, Wig Baby Miller. I'm on to something. Got to post it. But I'll be posting more clips and funny stuff about Jarrell Miller and the events of last night at the Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez fight. Shout out to Showbiz. He was at the fight. I don't even know where the fight was. Was it in Vegas? Shout out to all y'all in the chat. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for coming through. Mic check 1, 2. What you gonna do when I come through? Did I already say through? I don't want to use the same word twice. That's cheating. Y'all see Terrence Crawford get into it with Teofimo Lopez's dad? I was saying before on my other live stream, I was on Tony's Reviews channel on YouTube, and he had Teofimo Lopez's dad on a couple years ago, and I told him, I forget who his son was fighting, but I told him, I was like, your son's about to lose tonight. I think Teo needs to get a new trainer up in the camp if he wishes to continue his boxing career. Pugilism is no game. Like they say, you don't play boxing. You play football, baseball, basketball, soccer. You don't play boxing. If I had a bigger channel, man, I would constantly be calling out certain dudes to get in the ring, like Whack 100. This dude's always running his mouth about Tupac. Yeah, I beat that dude down so fast. I see why his name's Whack. That dude is whack. I hope he's still not managing the game. I think the game is one of the best rappers ever. It's like, why are you linked with Whack, dude? This dude is always running his mouth for shock value, man. I saw him coming into the ring with Adam 22. If I had like 100,000 subscribers, I'd make a video every day calling out Whack. Get that dude in the ring. Get that dude in the ring. That would be worse than the Adam 22 beating. Like, how you gonna diss Tupac, man? Are you crazy, dude? Diss Tupac? Sorry, my power went out. Back. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Christ is King. Absolutely. Yeshua reigns supreme. I agree with that. I agree with that. But so that was the first real big fight, I guess, of 2026. Today's February 1st. Of course, I saw, speaking of February 7, 1997, I went to see the rematch between Lennox Lewis and Oliver McCall II at the Las Vegas Hilton. One of the best nights ever, man. Met Lennox Lewis, met his beautiful mother, Violet. Met the guy that raised him, Arnie Beam. Met his high school buddy, Glenn Pendergast. I had a, I did a rap song and I gave it to his Courtney. I think his name's Courtney Shane, his strength and conditioning guy. I gave it to him. I was hoping he'd come into the ring to it. They probably didn't even listen to it. They probably like, man, get out of here. But I went to the after party and met Frank Maloney's mom. Really nice woman, man. As for Frank Maloney lately, but Frank Maloney's mom, class act, super nice. Pretty sure she wouldn't approve of the things that Frank Maloney has done to himself recently. That's some nasty work, Frank. Whatever you call yourself now, I'm calling you Frank. Mama named him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. Know what I mean? But yeah, went to that fight in Vegas, payback or playback. That's where Oliver McCall started crying in the ring. Who is this dude? All donations will get you banned from this channel. What? Is this weirdo? Yeah, there's some weirdos in this world, huh? It's kind of crazy to think that we share the world with so many weirdos, dude. Like coming on here just talking crazy. All donations to this channel will get you banned. That doesn't even make sense, dude. It's not funny either. If you guys want to like be trolls, you should hire like a professional writer or something if you're not funny, because these jokes suck, dude. Your little profile picture should be a Hoover vacuum or a straw, because these jokes suck. Not funny. If it was funny, I would laugh. But it's just not funny. The trolls come out during the day. The trolls come out at day. The trolls come out at day. The trolls come out. It's funny when people come in talking crazy, because I've been writing raps since I was like in grade school, and yeah, my pen game is nice. So whatever y'all want to bring, I'm gonna send it back to you 100 times harder, like a boomerang. And that's on blood in them. Yeah, I don't get it, man. The internet is is like fire. You can use it to cook things and do great things with it, or it can burn stuff down and create havoc. That's the internet, man. You can find a lot of helpful things on there, and you can find a lot of nonsense and foolishness, and a lot of people that don't get enough attention. So I'll give them the attention that they're craving for, but it's probably not going to go how they wanted it to go. You know what I mean? We should just have like a, you know how they have a Comic Con? They should have a boxing con. It should be like all of the boxing channels. You know, I know my numbers aren't as big as these dudes, but we should just all have tables, and then let's see how many trolls are willing to step up to the plate. Be crickets missing in action. Internet gives these dudes a false sense of security. They thinking they hard and stuff. When you grow up in California, do you really think you're gonna intimidate somebody? Nah. But I'm just sorry, y'all. I was just looking at the traffic outside. I'm trying to see what it's like out there. I was outside earlier, but Georgia. Somebody told me that Georgia got voted the best roads in America. I'm like, what? They're like always doing construction. Don't matter what time of night. There's like potholes, all kind of stuff going on. Like, there's no way. The traffic is horrendous. It's like rush hour, 24 hours a day almost. Georgia traffic is trash. Straight trash. It's trash. But so we got our first big fight out of the way for 2026. Shakur and Lopez. So what's next? Of course, Moses Atama pulled out of the fight with Jermaine Franklin due to injury. So I don't know what's going on with the new Mike Tyson. How is this dude being so protected that he's hardly having any fights in a year, dude? Like, what are you doing, man? Why is he being so protected? If he's the next Mike Tyson, we should be seeing him. Mike Tyson was having a bunch of fights coming up. You know, he wasn't having one fight a year. So why is Moses Atama being protected like that if he's really that guy? Because I don't think he is that guy. I think he's fast, he's strong, he's got skills, but I don't know what the beard is like when he gets touched up. Like my intro song, you can be touched. Let's see how he handles that. That's what I want to see. That's the litmus test. If he can take a punch, he's going places. If he can't take a punch, he's the next Audley Harrison. Remember him? Although boxing is the sport where you're supposed to hit and not get hit, we all know that if you step in the square circle, you're going to get hit. So we want to see how you deal with some adversity. We see how Tyson Fury deals with getting hit. He goes down, but he gets up. He's always gotten up. No matter who knocked him down, always gets up. So you got to give him props. And so, you know, that shows, even though he gets knocked down, that shows he still has somewhat of a chin in order to recover that fast. You know, a chin is not always the ability to stay on your feet. It's the ability to get up and keep fighting after you've been hurt, especially if you can pull off a win after getting knocked down. That's really impressive. You know what I mean? Like I said, beat down that thumbs up button on your way in or on your way out. If you're watching this now or you catch the replay, subscribe to my channel number 2 in WJ. I get way more interesting. I won't say more interesting, but I cover more topics over there. You know, I talk about everything over there. So subscribe to NWJ. Follow me on IG at the J Roos Theory. Cash App. Dude's got to eat. I'm a big dude. $ J Roos 33. And that's Roos, 2 O's, not 2 S's. $ J Roos 33. But I hope this is a big year. You know, Terrence Crawford, of course, retired last year. Hate to see him go, but like he said, he'd rather get out with his health and not give his health to boxing. That was like a brilliant statement. I'm paraphrasing, but he's pretty much saying, let me get out while I got my wits. He said he's been doing this since he's like 7, so about 30 years of putting his body through torment. So you got to respect Terrence Crawford for knowing when to quit. Retires undefeated. One of the best to ever do it. One of my favorite fighters, Terrence Bud Crawford. Shout out to Omaha. Shout out to Omaha. We had the Chris Eubank Conor Ben rematch last year. That didn't go too good for Chris Eubank. Conor Ben doesn't get enough credit for being a good fighter. You know, I think Conor Ben is extremely fast and punches hard, and I think big things are headed for him. I wish he'd fight Devin Haney. I'm just not a Devin Haney guy. I'd rather watch grass grow than to watch a Devin Haney fight. So I wish Conor Ben would just go in there and mop the floor with him. Didn't Bill Haney get into it the other day? You know, there's some Bay Area dudes. But I just, Devin Haney, I think the thing that made me really start not rocking with uh, Devin Haney is an old clip I saw where he was sparring with some dude and he's just like cussing at him and acting crazy. He's like, dude, they're sparring with you to try to help you get better and to work on some things, and you're in there cussing them out and trying to degrade them. You're missing the whole point of sparring. That lets me know that the sparring partner must have hurt him and touched him up with something in order to make him react like that. If you're cussing at your sparring partner, they did something that you didn't like, Mr. Haney. Let's see what y'all talking about. Someone said, I pooped. Wow, at least you're regular. Shout out to you for pooping. Absolutely. If any of you don't know Yeshua, I pray you invite him into your heart and turn from your sins. Absolutely. The end is near. I want y'all to think about something. I'm about to get deep. Whether it's from the rapture, the great gathering, the harpazo, the native, or the other way, one of these days you start, you're not going to finish. So it's important to give your life to the Most High so you know where you're going, to the Shamayim or the Hades. You don't want to go to hell. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Like I said, one of these days you wake up and you start, you're not going to finish that day. Think about it. But yeah. I'm looking across the street. Oh yeah, they're having a Super Bowl here in Atlanta, and that's way off topic, huh? They're having a Super Bowl in Atlanta next year at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I've been there for the Charger game about 3 years ago. Chargers won last play of the game, by the way. But yeah, Super Bowl over there. They should have a fight over there. Maybe they could bring Big Baby Miller. And if Miller doesn't win his fight, he'll have a lot to pay. To pay. Get it? Dad joke? Big Baby Miller will have a lot to pay. If Big Baby Miller doesn't get any endorsements for Bosley hair or whatever, maybe he'll get one for Elmer's super glue or something like that, you know, to glue his wig on better next time. But guess I'm about to get up out the paint, you know, let y'all enjoy your day. Thanks for coming through. And I appreciate you all. And all the trolls had to kick rocks barefoot on Pebble Beach. And I hope I run into you in person. And I'm going to knock your jaw sideways. Anyway, LSR forever. And be fearless. Yay.